Hi, this is Beatrice Leonard, and welcome back and joining me here for Travelers with Disabilities Having Fun. We have Joe. Here we go again. Joe.
You know what? Joe P works really good. And That's how I'm known all over in the country, because you're not alone in having a hard time with my name.
And Joe, we were just moving into the big powwow that's coming up here at the University of Illinois for Native American Month. November is Native American Month / American Indians. So tell us about that and what it's all about.
It's going to be an exciting event that this is one of the events that a powwow is a social gathering of people coming together to share our culture. So we want to invite everyone to come out and learn about us, get a first-hand view, feel of what we're doing. There's going to be times where we're going to ask people to come and dance with us. It is a dance competition, so you're going to have the best of the best Native dancers there that they can watch, and they'll be judged. There's Native foods. There's over 50 Native arts and crafts vendors from around the country where you get...
Talking about food, what's a good dish? Because I hear the wild rice, you use a lot of nuts, I think, and when I was looking at it, a lot of nuts, a lot of rice. It seems a lot of vegetables.
Wild rice is a very common dish. Blueberries, and corn, venison, and buffalo meat. The venison and buffalo are really lean meats. They're really good for you. They're really
venison
healthy.
Is good. Deer is good.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had buffalo before. And what is it?
You got to come out and try. You get you a buffalo burger.
Wait a second. No, we're talking about what does it taste like. And please don't tell me it tastes like chicken.
It tastes like beef. No.
Because every time, what does it taste like? Chicken. I mean, that chicken, so I'm just saying buffalo burger.
No,
I think corn.
Corn. Yeah, I mean, there's corn and there's squash that we use a lot. It's traditional plants and things that have grown, wild animals that are provided for us. And there's going to be a variety of all of those foods mixed up.
Why do you do this? You would tell me about this as something that happens more than once a year. Why do you do this?
This powwow? Yes. Because we need to share who we are, that we're still around, especially for, there's adults and our kids. It's not only the kids that think American Indian people are only existent in the Southwest. We're all over. Chicago is the oldest urban Indian center in the country, and we were actually honored by that in Washington, D.C. in 2004 with the opening of the Smithsonian, the National Museum of the American Indian. I was actually a consultant there.
Were you really?
As was a team of our community, and we have an exhibit on the third floor of that featuring the Chicago Indian Center. But we do this once a year, and it brings out authentic Native artists and the foods and all that we're doing because we want to share with everyone.
What about your elders? I have this thing with African Americans. They have this section of books called the griot section, and the griot section is like your elders that pass down the history of African American and their accomplishments and their race. So with you, with the American Indians or with Native Americans, do you have an elder that passed down your history and stuff to you?
There's actually many of them, and they are our teachers. And it's not only Native culture, it's indigenous cultures that use that method. The people that are the real keepers of the history and the knowledge don't always have your master's degrees and PhDs.
Those aren't needed.
Those aren't needed because the culture is living it, learning it, and being there to gather those stories from generation to generation. And it comes from our elders because they learn throughout their life, and then what they do is they give back. Right?
You were telling us about the dancing that's going to be there. Doesn't the dancing also have different ceremonial or reasonings behind them?
Yeah, they're all sacred dances. They all have so going back to the men's and women's traditional style of dance, which is the big eagle feather bustle on the back of the men. And the women, it's called a scrub board dance. So they're actually the dance came from an imitation of how they used to do laundry.
Okay.
On the scrub board years ago, that's how they used to do and that's where the dance came. But those are the dances that used to greet our men, warriors coming back from a hunt or war. And then there's the more contemporary styles of dance, which we evolve and change with other things, too, for the kids to get involved it's kind of like the first aerobics. If you ever saw on TV or some of the commercials or ads that they run about the fancy dancers that are all spinning around and just full of color, that's a fairly new style of dance. But they had to get permission from their elders to move forward to doing those. Okay. Nothing was done without those elders' permission.
The dress and everything was so colorful. And the beads. Yes,
the beadwork I tried it once.
And what happened?
Man, you got to have some patience and strong hands to do that.
Okay.
Usually it's the women that are, we hold our women in high esteem. They're the givers of life and the teachers for our families.
Are you going to have storytelling at the powwow?
There won't be storytelling there, but we have a wonderful new place in Schaumburg also. It's called the Trickster Gallery. It's 2 years old now, so it's our baby. And we're just nurturing it and developing it now. But it's a 10,000 square foot facility dedicated to native arts post-1960.
Friday is being led in by the elders and the veterans and also the dancers that are going to perform the next day.
Right. And then we'll have about 12 to 15 different drums from around the country singing those songs, bringing those dancers in. And it's really a procession that you don't want to miss. It runs Friday night and then Saturday.
Now, Saturday you start early in the morning. What's going on?
Yeah, so the doors open at 10 o'clock. Give you time to shop around, look at these vendors, talk to the artists, get to know them a little bit, see if you like their artwork. Dancing doesn't start until 1 o'clock on Saturday. So we'll have that grand entry and the procession again. About 2:30, we will have the crowning of Miss Indian Chicago.
Okay.
That has been going on for 54 years.
Get out.
Yet another thing that we need wonderful help like you're providing today to help share that word about things that are going on. Later that day, we have Bill Miller, who is a Grammy Award winner, native musician, coming in at 5 o'clock to give us a little mini concert.
Okay.
We'll follow that by Leanne Howe, who is a native author.
Okay.
Just came out with a new book about American Indians and baseball.
Okay.
So she'll be there promoting her book, doing signings. And following that, at about 6:30, we're going to be meeting with a group called the United Congress of Chicago, a group of the leadership of people of color in Chicago, myself included, to talk about how important it is for us to come together and the importance of inclusion of the First Nations people. Because a lot of times as government continues to brainwash us into the thinking of, it's only by the largest populations, that's who we have to pay attention to. All people are important. It don't matter if there's 10 people left of a particular race, their voice should count.
Now, what about Sunday?
And Sunday, we are going to be starting the dance. The doors open at 10 o'clock, and the dancing starts at noon. So again, the grand entry and procession, and there's just a host. That's when the final championship rounds will be danced. Of the 8 categories that we have, and it's broken down by age, so we don't have a teenager going against one of our elders for a competition. They compete all weekend, and they're judged. And then on Sunday, those finals will happen. So the best of the best will compete for that first prize.
That's cool.
It's a lot of fun. And,
that's cool.
It helps with getting them to join us at the weekend because they come from all over the United States.
Do they really?
They do.
So this isn't just ours in Chicago?
Oh, no. There's a lot of Native people that are local. But they come from all over. There's people come from California. There's some Alaska Natives that join us from the south.
What about Arizona?
Arizona.
Are there Indian in Florida?
Oh, yeah. Seminoles in Florida. We've got Navajo, Dene in Arizona. And we actually work with the Phoenix Indian Center and 23 other urban Indian centers across the country. I'm the chair for that national coalition. So as we're building a relationship across the country, because of the help like this that we need to get the word out, it's important that we gather also.
Well, I want to thank everybody for being with us today, along with Joe P. I'll get that last name, I'm sure, together once we get off the air, for talking to us about American Indians / Native Americans. This is Beatrice Leonard signing out right now. Have a fantabulous day.